Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the Duke here, once again, coming at you on this kind of chilly Friday morning for a weekend wrap up. It's a new edition, not the young man rap group, but a new episode. Excuse me. So, since last we spoke, I can't remember if I told y'all that I got my very first ever commission or not last time, but I did. That was became official as soon as I got paid. So I got commissioned to make a Christmas gift to make one of my former coworkers, who we've kind of stayed in touch. Her husband is like a theater teacher for, I don't know if he teaches at a high school or like a special, theater school thing. But he's big into theater, and so he's also into D&D. He just recently got into D&D. And he has a couple of, the store-bought Chess X dice sets, but she wanted to get him something that, he couldn't get anywhere else. Literally couldn't get anywhere else. So, she had been following me and my exploits, this particular brand of nonsense that I do. And so she was like, how much would it be for a custom set of dice with maybe something with the drama masks, the comedy and the tragedy masks that are associated with the theater. And I was like, well, let me think about it, because, I've never done anything like that. Two, I don't know, how much it would be. And she's like, okay, well, my budget for Christmas is, this. And I go, okay, well, let me see, let me do some thought processes and see what'll work. And so I was like, okay, well, my base price for just pouring some stuff in some molds I already have is basically above your budget already. So that's not going to work. So I'm like, but let me see how much it would cost, just because this is beneficial for me too, right? So I'm like, let me see how much it would cost, and I'll get back to you. Let me think about it. And then she was like, okay, well, I could go up to, X for my Christmas budget just this one time, because it's a special thing that's never going to happen again. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I'll keep that in mind. So I went back, and I was, thinking about, okay, well, here's, compared to pouring resin in something that I've already made, sunk cost, versus, sorry, my eyes are itchy, compared to, designing, modeling, and designing and actually modeling a full set of 3D dice, then getting those set up for printing, sanding and polishing, then molding, so then I can actually make the dice. It's a lot of steps. It's a lot of extra steps that I wouldn't normally be doing. So I looked at it and I was like, okay, well, based on, how long I expect this to take, because I did some tests too. So I was like, based on how long I expect this to take, here's what this would cost, here's what this would cost. And she went, and I was like, I know that's well over your budget. But I was like, here's what I'm willing to do. Because we know each other, because you're not just some person on the internet. And I'm contemplating, I don't know yet, but even if it's a person on the internet, I'm contemplating doing like a half and half. We'll see. But I was like, here's what I'm willing to do for you. I'm willing to do, down payment up front, and then you pay for the rest in installments. Like, it's, a couple of months, you pay X number of dollars each month until you pay it off. And she was like, that works. So I got the down payment. So officially commissioned artist. So that's cool. So I can't actually show you what I'm working on yet, because I don't have anything physical, but I've created the custom mask faces, because what I was like, instead of having just the masks, the high face, what if we have the high face be comedy and the one be tragedy? And she was like, that's a great idea. Like, I know. So that's what I did. So I actually created my own drama masks in a 3D modeling program. So that was pretty cool. And then I used numbers that were kind of pre-installed. excuse me, and kind of formatted those for die faces. And then found a set of blank dice that were already modeled online, and used those as my starting point. So I didn't make them 100% from scratch, but mostly, they're completely 100% custom. So, so I did that. I got them all modeled. I got the faces all on. I got them, and then I got them transferred over to the slicing program for the 3D printer. Got them supported, saved the file, and what I haven't done yet is gone down to the basement, grabbed the thumb drive, plugged it into my computer, transferred the file, and then hit the print button. So as soon as I'm done with this video, as soon as it starts its process towards the internet, I'm gonna go do that, and then it's I think the slicing program says it's gonna take almost 2 hours to print, because I'm printing the whole plate, the whole set of 7 at once, so it'll take a while. But fingers crossed that once that's done, I'll have a full set of custom dice. Then it's on to sanding, polishing, and molding. So that's going to be the week. I jumped ahead to the week ahead for that, but we can review it. I've been doing that. I've been working on that. I've also had some realizations that while I love doing this, and I will continue to do this, this as in dice and making and all that sort of stuff. I will continue to do this. It will probably be less focused, because I'll have less time, because I gotta work. I gotta go back to work. I don't want to. Definitely not, top of my list of things that make me happy. But had some very serious conversations about, okay, well, here's what we did to the house, here's what we owe now, here's a breakdown of all our expenses, which includes the house, those loans, other bills like internet, food, power, water. Well, no, we don't pay for water. Garbage pickup. So I ain't driving to the dump every day. So it's like $25. Screw that. So yeah, all that stuff. Okay, well, how much money we got coming in? How much money we got going out? Where is that? Is money coming in more than going out, or is it this, or is it this? Turns out it's about this. So I'm like, so again, after a discussion of some options, because the Duke isn't the only one capable of working. Mrs. the Duke is working. The Prince ain't gonna work. Not yet. Not for as long as I can help it. But Mr. the Duke could work. He did. And I could be stay-at-home Duke. But after kind of discussion on, okay, well, how much do we need? How much can we aggressively pay down debt once we get more money coming in? And I'm like, well, I have the highest potential earnings. That would get us to where we need to be the fastest. So I'm like, you know what? If it's in service of a goal, if it's a means to an end, and knowing what I know now, I was, and I had this discussion with Mr. and Mrs. the Duke, that I was like, I had a job ever since I was like 19, 20 years old. And I was under the understanding that it's like, well, I'm giving you my work, you give me money, and we don't break, we can't change that pact, or else everything is going to burn down. And it was the thought of stopping that was terrifying. Like, because I legitimately thought that was like, well, you have to work, you can't not, otherwise everything goes to poop. But then last December, I did just that. I was like, I'm not going to work. I'm going to do my own thing. And much to my surprise, like my legitimate surprise, was nothing went to poop. So knowing that, I now have all the power. I can go back to my previous employer, which I already did. They don't have any But that's not to say that, there won't be any openings. Either someone leaves, because that happens all the time. It happened all the time when I was on the team. Someone leaves, they magically get, more time to fill, and they can hire. Or sometime after the first year, they'll probably be able to hire. Either way, I can't slide right back into where I was. However, there's an opening on Mrs. the Duke's team. Definitely a pay cut, but not much. Maybe like I would be making maybe 60% of what I was making, which sounds like a lot. It sounds, basically from whole to making 2/3 of that whole. Phrasing. But I mean, it still makes that, what money coming in, money going out. It changes that to this, right? So, and then that gets my foot in the door too. Then I'm already there. I'm in contact with all of the people that I need to be, and then when something comes up, I'm like, bam, I'm back, baby. I apologize for that. So that's the plan. So that's the week in review. Already updated my resume and put in my application. Did you know they don't do objectives on resumes anymore? Anyway, it's been 20 years since I looked for a job. So anyway, so that's what I did. Put in my resume, put in my application. Fingers crossed on that. I don't think the hiring manager is in today, so I definitely won't hear anything today, but hopefully next week. Keep y'all posted. But like I said, this still happening. Like I'm going to make. I'm boundarizing. I'm putting bounds around this, boundaries, and saying putting boundaries around this and saying, no, this is still going to happen, you guys. Like I'm going to give you my work, you're going to pay me, but this is still still happening. So no worries. Week ahead, maybe I'll hear something about the job. Maybe I'm definitely going to keep working on the commission because, Christmas is coming up fast. So I definitely want to get those done. Continue working on them in sight of them being done. And I mean, I think I'm just going to keep working on other stuff, I mean, I still have these blank inclusions that I haven't molded and played around with. Excuse me. I've still got these masters that I need to. Oh my gosh, excuse me. That I need to sand and polish and remold. I've got to work on the giant puzzle slab. So the workbench and the planer have now been uncovered and crap on the floor has been cleaned away in the garage. So the workbench is actually accessible. So maybe next week I'll slide that through the planer a couple of times and get that leveled down and some of the bubbles taken out, and then I'll start sanding it and whatnot. Because I'm thinking that could make a nice place setting, or maybe I'll cut a groove and dip it down and make it like a tray. That could be neat. Anyway, options. I'm gonna work on that. Still gotta get my desk up here because this is a dresser. It's a dresser from IKEA that's put together with tape because it broke and we're still using it. So this isn't going to be here. There's going to be a desk here. Actually a century-old desk that we found at an antique store in town that's just been sitting in the garage because we didn't have anywhere else to put it. So that's coming up here probably next week. That might be it. That's a lot. So yeah, exciting stuff in the works. I'm not excited about the prospect of going back to work, but I am excited about what it means for everything else. So that's cool. My dog is staring at me. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you. If you're a patron, if you're you bought me a coffee, if you're a coffee supporter, thank you very much. It means I can it means you like what I do. At this point, it's not about continuing what I'm doing because I'm gonna go back to the day job to support this. But the fact that you support me no matter what very cool, and I appreciate it. I think the question, how many roads must a man walk down? I think I think the question is, I don't know what the question is. I don't know the question, y'all. Excuse me, that was gross. I don't know. I don't know what the question is. I ain't got a question. No question this week. Be good to each other. Be well. Be kind. And until next time, peace.